Welcome back to the home team. I'm your host, Spencer Henderson, and we are done with National Signing Day. We have some new faces on the hill. One of those faces will make an appearance on the home team today, but you got to stay tuned to find out who. We will recap the National Signing Day press conference with head coach James Colsey III, as well as highlight a Rattler honored as the HBCU Player of the Year in the NFL. And it's all coming up next on the home team. And we are back with another one, guys. National Signing Day had Rattler Nation with all smiles as FAMU signed some really good FBS talent. Now, on last week's show, I mentioned that former Seminole running back Rodney Hill was back on the hill. And we were also able to land two other Seminoles from across the tracks. Defensive back Damari Tate and kicker Max Larson will also be taking off the garnet and gold to put on the orange and green in 2024. And you know me, my eyes were all on the wide receiver position. And the Rattlers lost two really good wide receivers last year in Jamari Shareed and Marcus Riley, but were able to snag former Florida Atlantic wideout Acion Cobb and former Central Florida wideout Amari Johnson in the transfer portal. The Rattlers were also able to pick up a defensive lineman in the redshirt junior from Jackson, Mississippi, Montre Edwards. Now Edwards is coming into the fold standing about 6'3" and almost 300 pounds. That's a big Rattler there, boy. And the Rattler joins me here on the decks today. So Montre Edwards, thanks for joining me today on the home team. We're here to introduce you to FAMU Nation. Now, after watching some of your film, man, you're jumping off the film, man. I know you had other options coming out. What were some of those options, and what made you want to be a part of the best HBCU in America?
Well, I had scholarship from FIU, Grambling, Alcorn. I had, a few various of opportunities and offers, but the thing that stuck out with FAMU was, talk to the coaches, and at the time when I was talking to Coach Simmons and I was talking to Coach Whispers and I was talking to Coach Colsey and Coach Patterson, it felt like, they had a lot of love for me, and, it was a real home and it was real genuine love. So I just took, the best foot forward, and I came and I signed.
And so what are some of the things that impressed you with Coach Colsey? I know we went from, having Willie Simmons here, he had won a national championship as a head coach, but what are some of the things that impressed you about Coach Colsey that wanted to make you join the Rattler fold?
Coach Colsey is just an overall great guy. He's a natural born leader. He's everything you look for in, a leader and a head coach. And, he jumped out to me, his personality, and, what you see is what you get with him is, a lot of time. And, just, the whole overall environment of just, being around here and being here and to be able to even play for him, and Coach Patterson.
And now this guy's pretty dangerous in the trenches, you guys. Now, I just got to ask you, man, looking at some of that film, I saw you jumping off the screen, coming around the corner, getting the running backs. Now, what do you think is your best, attribute? Is it rushing the passer? Is it, getting at the running back? What do you think your best attribute is?
I would say I'm a natural born run stopper, but I can also go in my toolbox and go get the quarterback. I had on the defensive line that JUCO I went to, I led the sacks. I led sacks as a defensive lineman on the team.
Okay. And just tell everybody what, college you came from and about your experience there, because I know you had some good experiences there as well.
Okay, I came from Colin Community College. It's located 45 minutes south of Jackson, Mississippi. Colin, it's a real home, It's, you around people that actually care about you, that really love you, and they're gonna coach you, and not just be there for 2 years and after that that's it. I still hear from a few of my coaches to this day. So Colin is, that's always gonna be my second home. I'm always gonna be a Wolf at heart. Just overall, I mean, I love my JUCO.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, they coming out of those JUCOs. I know you saw some of the class that we had this year. How impressed were you with some of the recruits that we were able to bring in?
I mean, I wasn't even surprised because, I mean, when you have guys like Coach Coles and Coach Patterson, guys that can go out and recruit and relate to kids, I mean, it's no surprise. Just at this point, we just need to keep building and keep growing. But overall, I think it's gonna be pretty nice here at FAMU.
Now, I don't know if anybody told you yet, but we expect championships now at FAMU, right? We're expecting to repeat. We're expecting to have success. What's your expectation for this team going forward in the 2024 season?
Dominate and win, and keep building and hold each other accountable and keep having that brotherhood. Because at the end of the day, you gotta have brotherhood and you gotta have love, as a team. So
just going into the spring practice, coming up this year, what are some of the things that you're trying to show your coaches?
That I'm versatile. I can play the shade, the three, a little bit of end, but just showing I'm versatile and I can, boost my stock up.
Okay. Well, Montre, I want to thank you for joining us here on the home team. I hope you have a great year, man. We're looking forward to great things from you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. All right, so speaking of Coach Cozy III, I was able to ask him some questions during Wednesday's National Signing Day press conference. Let's take a look. Good morning, Coach. Spencer Henderson.
Yes, sir.
TV 20.
How you doing?
I just wanted to ask you, I know you lost a couple coaches during the process of the selection process. How do you address those positions, whether it's, the Devin Rispers, the director of recruiting that left, go to Colorado, or either Ryan Smith, the leader of the defense on the coaching standpoint?
Well, first and foremost, those, the two names that you mentioned, we can't forget that we also lost our darn head coach and offensive coordinator on that deal. And I think you have to say with those three guys, man, we lost three quality guys that helped win a lot of football games during their tenure. And I appreciate all of the things that they did for me while I was here, and I wish them the very best at their current places. Now, I think that we have continuity on the offensive and defensive side of football with a lot of the coaches that are currently here, and I think that I'm currently interviewing our guy who's going to be our offensive coordinator. I was in interviews today with the guys that I'm hoping that could be our defensive coordinator. But I think the biggest thing is I'm not trying to change what we're doing on offense. I'm definitely not trying to change what we do on the defensive side. And you got guys like Milton Patterson that's been here, right? You got guys like Devon Morgan that have been here. Coach James Cole's been here. Right, Joe Henry been here, right? Office coordinator, as title goes, last year. Marcus Wyndham, he's been here. Antonio Carter, these guys are here, right? And obviously, again, the three guys like I mentioned did a great job of leading us on the offensive defensive side, and a guy like Coach Rispers who led our efforts on the recruiting thing. Now, I will say this, and just so you guys can understand the importance of this job and the importance of being the head football coach at Florida A&M. I have a lot of offers. I got people calling me to try to ascertain or be a part of this staff and try to be a part of what we're doing here. But I'm gonna make, in my opinion, the best hires for those spots. Trust me, they might not have those names, but they're gonna have to come in with the expectations of being similar to those guys that left us. Because I wouldn't be doing the FAMU Rattler Nation proud if I didn't bring in quality people that could uphold the standards that those guys left. So, and those are things that I'm asking of them. Like, can you handle this thing? Can you handle this part? Can you be a part of this? So, we got current guys that are here that I think can entertain or be really, really good coordinators. I have done interviews with other people for those positions. And then the director of recruiting, I've ID'd a couple guys that I think that could bring the energy that Coach Rispers brought and also the connections that he brought. So I'm hoping to have all of those things filled by the time we start spring practice. Because I think I want us to be full go, which I want to say I think it's either that first Tuesday in March. Let me look at my schedule so I can give you the exact date. March 5th. So I'm hoping by March 5th I have my full staff together. And I think we can't forget about our director of operations, LaTroy Johnson, that he was kind of the glue, right? So, I think I've zeroed in on that person because believe it or not, and I know you mentioned those coaches, But the first person I'm hoping to hire is my director of football operations, because I am tired of doing paperwork. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need to get that operations person in here so they can help me with some of this paperwork, so I can actually start getting the coaching. That's a great question, man. In my opinion, that's a great question.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will keep you guys updated on who will fill those coaching vacancies, but for now, we can kind of start thinking about what type of coaches Coach Cozy III should bring in. Now, I know this is going to be a hot take, but listen, we lost Willie Simmons, who was running our offense, but it would be nice to go grab Charlie Ward from Florida High School to be our offensive coordinator. He brings in a wealth of knowledge from a quarterback perspective, and he will be able to recruit top-notch quarterbacks in the transfer portal to play for him. It's just a thought. I trust Coach Cozy III to make the right decisions when it comes to hiring staff members, but Coach, hit up your boy. Now, transitioning from college to the pros, and I know the NFL season has come to a close, but I cannot let this show end without acknowledging a Rattler who has been tearing it up in the NFL. Former FAMU safety Marquise Bell will be honored at the Super Bowl Soul Celebration for being the NFL HBCU Player of the Year. An incredible honor for an incredible player. And our incredible broadcast journalism student, Brendan Brown, wrote an article about Bell's accomplishment, and it was published by the FAMUan. And joining me here today is the author of the article, Brendan Brown. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Mr. Henderson. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. And first of all, man, I got to say, man, you looking real fly, man. I see you got the blue coordination going on right there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So let's dive right into this, man. So, you know, I know you wrote the article about Bell. Tell me about what motivated you to write the article about Bell, and how did you find out about this honor?
So what motivated me to write the article about Mr. Bell is the fact that he reached out to me, and I found out about the article through Christian as well. He gave me a little more information on it, and I was able to get in contact with his auntie, Mrs. Boykin, and was able to make it happen. And I felt like it was a great honor that they wanted me to write the article as well, to be able to break this story coming from his former HBCU.
And talking about this former HBCU, what do you think it says about the program of FAMU to have a guy like this go to the NFL and actually achieve an honor like this, one of the first honors for a person from FAMU?
It says a lot about the program here at Florida A&M University. Coach Willie Simmons, he did a great job being able to develop Marquise Bell into the talent that he is today. And it shows that you don't have to go to a major D1 program to be able to achieve the success Marquise Bell has. If you come here at HBCU, you put in the work at Florida A&M University, they'll come find you.
That's right. And speaking about putting in the work, you put in the work for that article. And I read the article and I noticed that he does something for the community. He has a Bell's Foundation where he does a lot for the community. Did you delve into what he was talking about as far as what he's trying to accomplish with that mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So Bell Cares Foundation, Marquise Bell felt like it was his initiative and his goal to be able to give back to his HBCU family that he came from. His foundation, what he's told me, it speaks on striking out gang violence as well as providing youth mental health awareness camps for the youth.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And again, we thank you so much, man, for being on here on the home team. Guys, go check out that article. It's on the FAMU online website. Go check it out. Hey, listen, I appreciate you for coming by and stop by, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the second episode of the Home Team. But remember to always follow us on Facebook and Instagram at FAMUTV20. We'll be back next week with another one as we inch closer to the beginning of spring camp. Keep striking out there, and I'll see you next time.
as I continue my thanks, I can't forget about my players, and I say "my" in quotation marks now. Without them, their voice, their ability to share their confidence with me. The team, our first meeting we had January 6th, I challenged them to not worry about the outside noise. I challenged them to make sure we did a great job in the weight room. I challenged them to make sure we start off well academically. I challenged them to hold each other accountable, and they did up to this point, they've done a great job, and I'm hoping that we continue to do that. Now, what's next for us? We got fourth quarter drills. We have spring practice, spring game, April 13th. First game of the year, we are back in the city where the season ended, back in Atlanta. And obviously we get a chance to open up the season against Norfolk State. Now, I want you to keep in mind one thing. When they introduce us, they will have no choice but to call us the reigning HBCU national champions.